So today I'm going to show you how we can calculate beta using data from Yahoo Finance and then graphing it and visualizing what this is actually doing. So what I'm going to do is, let's look up Starbucks. We're going to calculate the beta for Starbucks, and you see that it's close to 1, it's 0.97 according to Yahoo Finance, but let's calculate our own beta. So I'll go to the Historical Data tab, and then we're going to change the prices to be monthly, and we'll do 5 years worth of data, apply, and then I'm going to download the data. And I'm going to go ahead and queue up comparable to the market, so we'll do the caret GSPC for the S&P 500. We'll keep this there, historical, and then I'll go ahead and make this also monthly for 5 years. All right, so while that is loading, I'm going to open up the Starbucks data. And what we're going to do with the data here, so we want to calculate the returns from the adjusted close data. So I'm going to delete the rest of the stuff. I'll keep the date. Just call this S bucks. This will be the Y. So our returns, so S bucks return. Let's do S bucks again. So to do this, to get the return data, this will be equal to the current divided by the previous minus 1, and send that data down. Now we need the data for S&P 500, and for whatever reason we can't just straight download this from the site. So I'm just going to copy the data and then paste it into Excel. I'm then going to sort the data. So we'll sort by date, but do newest to oldest, or oldest to newest. And then now we'll take this data. This will be the S&P 500, and this will be their adjusted close. So actually, what I'm going to do is just get rid of these. Delete that. This, and then now this will be SP 500, and I'll copy this same formula over, send that down. So one way we could do this, we could just calculate the slope function. So my Y's will be the Starbucks returns, and then the X's would be the market returns. And we would get a beta of 0.9425, which is not too far off from what Yahoo Finance is saying right now. The other thing we could do is, I'm going to drag these down twice, and then I'm going to highlight this data, and then with a control key I can highlight the other return data for the S&P 500. And let's insert a recommended chart. We can do a scatter would be fine, so let's try this one. And then with this I can add a trend line and then tweak the data, so make sure it's linear, more options, and I want the equation on the chart, and we can see here that that slope is off. That's the incorrect slopes. What I need to do is I need to flip this data. So actually, let's do this. So probably what's happened here is just pass the values, and now let me try to run it. Hopefully we'll get this to work this time. So insert recommended, scatter, add the trend line. And then there we go. So now we see that's the correct slope, because we want to make sure that we're graphing the market returns on the x-axis and the Starbucks returns on the y-axis. We're trying to use the market to explain this data. So with this, and we can also make sure that the data is indeed right. and see that the horizontal is indeed S&P 500 data, so that 0.019 matches up there. And then the series is S-Bucks, which corresponds to what we're trying to explain, the Y. Okay, so this is our graph. And the slope of this line, the 0.9425, that's beta. And you can see here the R squared's not close to 1, but it's 0.38, so it's not too bad. I could also do a regression of this, so let me demonstrate that real quick. So go to data analysis. If you don't have the data analysis on your sheet here, you can go to File, Options, Add-ins, click Go, and then Analysis Toolpack is what you want. So now that should be up in your Data tab. So Data Analysis, Regression. Once again, the Y data will be the Starbucks data. That's what we're trying to explain. The X data is the market. That's what we're trying to use to explain what's going on in the returns. We have labels. I'll do a new worksheet. Click OK. And the slope of the coefficient with S&P 500 is indeed that beta. And fortunately for us, the t-stat is greater than the absolute value 2, and the p-value is less than 0.05, so that's statistically significant. That's good. Intercept isn't, but we don't really need to worry about that. But the beta is, we calculate as 0.94, and once again, that's not too far off from what Yahoo Finance had it at. Currently, Yahoo Finance has it at 0.97, so it's pretty close, less than 1, but basically really close to 1. So Starbucks is highly correlated to the market. When the market goes up by 10%, Starbucks will probably go up maybe a little bit less than 10%, and then vice versa. So, thanks for watching. If you like these videos, you can continue to watch more or find out about new content by liking and subscribing below.